Hey everyone, Caleb here with Hemp Daddy's Therapeutics. If you are new to tuning into me, I am a father of 3 children, I am a husband, and my family and I, we live in our RV full time as we travel around the country and run the Hemp Daddy's business. And it is freezing cold today, that's why I'm doing the video inside. Typically I like to do these outside where it's nice and beautiful and sunny, but today it's not that way. So I am inside doing this. The family's gone, having a little fun adventure. So I'm here to talk to you guys today about chronic injury. And there's 2 reasons I want to talk to you guys about this. One, it's the reason I started Hemp Daddy's because it helped me with issues from a chronic injury. And 2, I hope my experience might also be able to help you with a chronic injury you might be experiencing. So first of all, let's start off by explaining a little bit about what a chronic injury is. So for me, it's Achilles tendonitis. I've had this for years now. I'll go into detail in a little bit about how it all started, but they're overuse injuries, and they're usually related to the soft tissue, so like your tendons and your ligaments, and they usually start slowly and progress over time. So it's usually like a small dull pain that might increase over time, and usually you don't notice it. You don't really know it's there until it's there. But if you really start to think about it, you can usually pinpoint a time when the pain started, and it's usually, like I said, it's usually gradual and builds up over time. And these are essentially overuse injuries. So if you're an ultra runner who's running long distances on a regular basis, you're more likely to experience something like this. And that was my case. So I was training for the Bandera 100K a few years ago, and during this I started having some symptoms of like plantar fasciitis, just pain in the bottom of the foot, tight in the morning. And so I went to physical therapist. I got some exercises, got some dry needling done, and he sent me on my way. I was right as rain, I was good as gold, kept up my training, finished that race. And sometime after that I started experiencing the pain again. But this time it was a little more than the plantar fasciitis type symptom. I was feeling it on the back of my heel. And doing a little bit of research, it's like, oh man, I've got tendonitis here. And my next race was a 100-mile race. It was the Wasatch 100 in Utah, and so I was training for that. And so I was like committed. It's like I've got to do this race. I can't let this get me down. So I started just kind of doing some research and figuring out how can I recover from this so I can train for this. I never recovered from it, but what I basically did is manage the pain, worked on strengthening that area as the best I could. So pretty much every day I wasn't running, I was doing exercises, I was foam rolling, I was doing all these activities that would help, one, alleviate the pain and also help it to recover. And so, whatever injury this is going on, it's definitely Achilles tendonitis, perennial Achilles tendonitis is what I think it is. But it's so long-term and it's so annoying. And I know there's others of you out there that are feeling the same way I am. But recently I've been doing a lot more research, and I've started to see a lot of things that I haven't been doing that I've started doing, and I've started to see a little bit more progress, which is exciting. And one of the things I realized, it was more than just that localized area. It's a whole biomechanical thing. If you've been running for any length of time, you know this. People harp on it all the time. They talk about how important it is to strengthen your core and work on your hip flexors, and I always blew those guys off. It's like, oh, whatever, all I'm going to do is get out and run and have fun. That's all I want to do. And that was a huge mistake. And I realized they were right when I took about a 4-month break from running. So in my previous business, we were going through just a hugely stressful time. And so I wasn't running. I needed to be running then. So the Cbd oil was helping with stress during that time, so I didn't need to run there. So I wasn't running. But at the end of this stressful time in my business, I got that same injury that I had in my left foot and my right foot. And I was like, okay, this is a little more than just an overuse injury. This has to be a biomechanical thing like everyone is talking about, because I developed Achilles tendonitis in my right foot without even running. So I started taking all that stuff kind of seriously. So I went back to the physical therapist I'd saw several years before. We did some more dry needling, and he gave me some more exercises to work on strengthening of that foot. But the one thing he didn't do, he wasn't addressing the biomechanical things like I was hoping he would. So fast forward a little bit later, I run into a deep tissue massage specialist, and that's the person who kind of awakened me to how this is more of the biomechanical thing. than it is. I mean, I kind of realized that before, but they just kind of re-emphasize, yes, you definitely have issues with your hip flexors. You need to work on that. And so, I went and got some deep tissue massage work. I went to about 2 different sessions, and I was like amazed. Like, the pain was gone. I was able to move around more freely, and it just felt great. And so I realized, okay, there's something here. And so I also took her advice and started working on exercising my hip flexors. So that's one thing I've been really focused on lately. And I started seeing progress. And another thing too, active recovery is very important. You want to be active even though you're having this struggle, even if it means you cut back on your running to where you're walking. So that's what I started doing. I was walking about 1 to 2 miles 3 days a week. Then eventually I started going out on a hike on a trail, and I started picking up my pace a little bit. I started mixing running and hiking, and I was doing okay. Then one weekend I went on a run. I ran the whole way. I haven't run like an entire run in like probably 8 months. And so the progress I was seeing, I believe, was a direct result of taking seriously the physical therapy exercises, doing them on a regular basis, and starting to be active versus sitting on the couch and doing the traditional rest technique. Your RICE, your ice, your compression, your elevation. I think that definitely has its place. It's definitely important for your recovery, but it's not the thing that's going to make the biggest difference. It's those deep tissue massages and that physical therapy. And here's how I know those things were working. So recently we had kind of a little disaster here in the RV. We had a little flood. We had to drop it off at an RV shop to get repaired. And during that time, we were staying at our in-laws' house. Then we had another incident which put us in a hotel for a couple nights. So we were displaced for like a whole week. And during that time, I stopped my exercises. I stopped working out. I stopped walking. And by the end of that week, the pain had increased in both of my feet and both of my tendons. That pain was elevated. I felt that tightness again. And I was like, okay, there's something to these exercises. There's something to taking this physical therapy seriously that's making a difference. And so fast forward to this week, I'm getting serious about my exercises again. I've been waking up early the past couple days, and that pain is starting to lift again. And it's not as tight in the morning. So in the past, my feet would be so tight in the morning, I would have to grab onto things here in the RV as I'm walking down the steps from the front part of the RV. I'm literally holding onto the walls in the counter to get to the bathroom. That's how bad it was in the morning. And so, but after taking these exercises seriously, I'm able to get up in the morning and walk in here just fine. I don't feel any tightness anymore, which is amazing. I had always felt tightness in that foot in the morning, and I no longer do, as long as I'm taking those exercises seriously, and it's gone again. And so I'm not experiencing that tightness. I do still experience a little bit of kind of like that dull pain, so I know there's still issues there to be worked on. But those people that are preaching to you core strength, biomechanics, do your Camp Gladiator, your CrossFit, I think there's a lot of truth to that. I think those things are definitely going to be beneficial to people who are runners, especially ultra runners and marathon runners who are putting in lots of miles. And lastly, this little good thing called Cbd oil. It's been crucial to my recovery, and it mainly with helping with the pain. That's the biggest thing. I also have a transdermal cream, and I apply that to my foot almost daily, and especially when there might be a flare up, I put it on there and it helps with the pain. And I also have this chronic shoulder pain that I've had for years from a car accident. I mean, that's going to be the next thing I work on with physical therapy, is this shoulder bursitis. But I hardly ever have pain in there anymore. I occasionally have a flare up. I'm having one today, but the CBD has helped cut down on the pain, as it always does. And so if you're looking to recover from a chronic injury, like, the most important thing is going to be your exercises and deep tissue massages and things like that. The CBD oil is definitely going to help. It's not a magic bullet. It's not a cure-all. It's kind of touted as so, but there's a lot of things that CBD does not help with. But it will help cut down on the inflammation, especially if it's a new injury. Like, taking CBD right after a new injury, that's going to help cut down that inflammation like quickly, and probably help you not turn this into a long-term chronic thing, hopefully. Anyway, as I was saying, like, the CBD has been a huge benefit to me, and again, it's why I started this company, is because I needed a relief from that nagging pain from this chronic injury, and the CBD was helping with that. Anyway, I hope you guys found this video beneficial, and if you are struggling with a chronic injury, I hope you will consider seeing a physical therapist, even a deep tissue massage therapist. That's another thing. I got to get another appointment on the books because those guys work their magic. Side note on that, I want to talk about foam rolling. So one thing I recently learned from, I was talking to another ultra runner that we're working with named Robbie. He's about to do a transcontinental run across the United States, and he was doing some deep tissue work, and his guy told him, foam rolling is great, but you got to do it hard. Most people, when they foam roll, they're too easy on themselves. They're not masochistic enough to really get in there. And he's like, you can't really injure yourself foam rolling. Note, I'm not a doctor. I'm not advocating go after it as hard as you can with the foam roller. I don't want you to get hurt. But he was saying that most people aren't aggressive enough with the foam roller. So if you have a foam roller, that's something that's good. That's part of my morning routine, is getting on the foam roller, working out, you know, my quads, my calves, my thighs, just pretty much everything, the whole chain from the foot on up. Working that out on a regular basis with the foam roller definitely helps. If you can't afford deep tissue massage, that's the way to go. That's the closest you're going to get. I'm pointing to my foam roller over here as if you can see it. It's on the floor. Anyway, again, I hope you guys found some value in this video. I hope you found a lot of benefit. And if you're struggling with a chronic injury, drop a comment here on YouTube. I would love to just chat with you and just commiserate, or feel free to shoot me an email. If you go to our website, himpdaddies.com, use the contact form there. That goes directly to me. It is an owner-run company, so anytime you're reaching out to us, you're reaching out to me. Anyway, hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope you enjoy this video.